Welcome to the Railway Engineering. This is your seventh lecture. Today we are going to study about sleepers. What is sleeper? Functions of sleepers, right? Then we are going to study the types of sleepers and how the sleeper should be. That we are going to study only one type of sleeper. You will see types of sleeper, but we are going to study in deep about it. Not much, but how it is, what it is made up of. That we'll see, right? And what is sleeper density. We'll see what is sleeper density is. Sleeper is a transfer support for a rail track to give a stiffness to it. Not it is. Sleeper is a transfer support to the. It is perpendicular to the rails. In which direction the rails are moving or which are there perpendicular to it, there are sleepers. Right? They are square boxes. You can say rectangular boxes. You might have seen this as you go through the train. Everyone might have gone through the train. You might see below the railway rail, you have some white color box that is been provided, which is holding the rails in place. Right? Those are called as sleepers, which provides a stability to the permanent way and a very important component of the railway track. Right? That is your permanent way, or one of the important track part. So rails have to withstand a heavy load from the locomotives, wagons, and coaches. Right? So in the absence of the sleepers, the track could just settle down because we don't have any solid foundation there. We are just providing a coach certificate, that is a ballast. So once you don't provide sleepers in some cases, it will just settle down and it might displace also, right? Because there is no support and stability, and fixed, it is not fixed to the ground. Can you see this? Nowadays we use such sleepers, right? Previously we used to use wood was very easily available, so we used to go for wooden sleepers. Then we looked for the steel sleepers. Right, we saw about the steel sleepers. This is how the steel sleepers looks. Because of this arrangement done here, right, it acts like a creep anchorage. It would not allow the creep to happen. So this was second type. Then you have concrete or pre-stressed sleepers. You have concrete or pre-stressed sleepers. This white color, can you see this? These are called sleepers. And you can see here there is a slope provided here. Right? There is a slope provided here like this. That slope is nothing but it is 1 in 20 for your tilting of rails. Right? That is why the slope is being provided. Now there are one of the new type of sleepers. It is the combination of plastic, right? It is made up of plastic sleepers. These are not yet used, but they are in the research, right? And they are trying to develop such sleepers with a plastic waste, or it might be composite or mixture of concrete as well as this plastic, or it might be a only made of plastic. So it is a new thing that is coming in the market. It is not yet used in India, but they are trying to research over it so that whatever waste we collect from the plastic, the graded plastic, we can take and can recycle it for the preparation of sleepers, right? So this is what a slipper is. We saw the types of slippers here. We saw first timber or wooden slippers, then we saw the steel slippers, concrete slippers, and new type of slippers we saw, that is of plastic slippers, right? Where are the images? Clear images, can you see it? This is your precast slippers monoblock. Because why it is called monoblock? It is called as monoblock because it is a single block. It's called as monoblock because it has one block. These are called two block. Right, it is called as two block rail. It is made of concrete only, but it is just concrete is provided just at the point where the slippers are the rails are going to rest. Right, these are your steel slippers. You see, those are steel slippers, and this is the new type that are plastic slippers. You can say it is a composite of plastic and concrete, or might be only plastic. So these are some of the real images, right? Functions of slippers: they provide stability to the permanent way. The first thing, their main purpose is that only, because they have to hold it and you have to provide a stability to it. Stability means what? They should make it to stand there whenever the load is coming over it. When the train is moving over it, it should be able to stand over it properly. Right? It allows the track insulation for electric rail sections. It should not be that whenever when it is an electrical track, then the current should not pass through the slippers. It should not be a good medium of current. It should be a bad conductor of electricity. So when the person is moving for the maintenance work, he should not get the shock from those slippers and have some harm. Right? So it should allow the track insulations. So, and one more thing, it should hold the required gauge. It should not be that it should displace every time. It should hold the rails at a position correctly, so that there is no difference in gauge. Supports the rails firmly. It should hold the rails firmly to provide the facilities of maintaining the track at a proper grade. Right? To absorb the vibrations of the train which is coming from the rail. To behave as a plastic medium between the rails and the blast. It should be able to take all the loads and vibrations, take it and then allow it to the lower portion of the, or transfer it to the lower part of the permanent way. Right? Next is to distribute the load from the rails to the larger area of the blast. Right? Providing fastenings for easy replacement of the fastenings. You should provide fastening such that it should be able to easily remove and again place it to the position during the maintenance work. It should be very fast and very easy to remove these fastenings and slippers. Right? Now you might say, then if these are the requirements, or this is how the functions of slippers are, then how they should be made of, how they should be. Now we'll see the answer of it. This is the requirements of rail slippers. They should be able to maintain the same thing. It is nothing but it is same. Whatever are the functions, same are the requirements. Just go through it. To provide sufficient bearing area. Bearing area means the bottom area that is required to hold the rails into the place. It should be easy to fix and remove the rails from the slippers, as I said in the previous point. It should have a sufficient strength to bear the heavy stresses. It should not happen that when the load is transferred from the rails to the slippers, transferred to the ballast, it only breaks down there only. It fails there only. Then the no use of it, because it will not transfer the load, and there is a failure of the permanent track. It should be done such dimensions which are unaffected by tempering and packing. Right? It should be not create a handling and transportation problems. It should be easily handled, and transportation also should be easy to be done. It should be able to resist the weathering agencies, because it is in the atmosphere. All the weathering effects that are happening over it, it should be able to resist it. It should be easily insulated from the rails if the track is circuit engaged. Means when the current is allowed to pass through the track because of the electric trains, then it should not be able to allow the it's from the conductor of electricity. It should be neither too heavy or not too light. If it is too light, then it will break due to the load. If it is too heavy, then it will have problems while transporting and handling of the sleepers. It should be strong enough to resist the shocks and vibrations. Now, one of the pre-stressed which we use the most commonly, it is a concrete pre-stressed monoblock pre-stressed sleepers. What we saw in the previous images, the first one, the concrete I said, right? Those concrete sleepers are nothing but those are monoblock because it is single block hold together. Monoblock pre-stressed concrete. It is not RCC concrete, it is a pre-stressed concrete. A railway sleepers are very important component of the railway track steel structure. Sleepers can be manufactured by using timber, concrete, steels or other engineering materials. Nowadays, pre-stressed concrete has become a most commonly used type of sleepers. Pre-stressed concrete have a longer life cycle and lower maintenance cost than the RCC reinforced concrete sleepers. Remember this, it has less maintenance cost than the RCC sleepers. They are expected to withstand high dynamic load. Dynamic means moving loads, right? The load which is in the motion, harsh environment. However, the durability and the long-term performance of the pre-stressed concrete sleepers are largely depending upon the creep and the shrinkage response. How the creep occurs, how much the creep occurs, and how you maintain it. Or depending upon that, the lifespan of the sleepers maintained of the pre-stressed. Can you see here? These are your monoblock pre-stressed concrete sleepers, right? Can you see the slope here? Can you see the slope? It's very small. The slope is very little. It is not very big. You can see here. This is a slope. That is for tilting of rails. And this is it is called as, this looks like this also. This is your gauge and this is the length of the sleeper. What is the length of the sleeper? The thickness is this thickness is 25 mm by mm. It is 25 mm, right? And this distance is 2750 mm. It is 2750 mm, means 2750 mm it is, right? That is the length of the rail. And what type of the fastenings we provide? It is called as pandroll clips. It is called as pandroll clips. We'll see the image of it, how it looks. These are the images which will hold the rails in the proper position. It is called as pandroll clips. Right? These are pandroll clips. You see it? This is how it looks. Right? This is how it is. This is your rail. This is your rail. And this is your sleeper. Right? It is connecting the sleepers as well as holding the rails and sleepers together. Right? So that there is proper stability provided. This is how the pandroll clips looks like, and it is very easy to remove and place again to the place. This is also all about the sleepers, right?